and gentlemen, today is a special episode of Lawn Chair Sports. It's episode 49.
Yes.
And for those of you who were paying attention, yesterday's episode was also number 49. However, because we didn't organize properly what we wanted our 50th episode to be, this one's going to be 49B.
Right.
So this is episode 49B. As you can see, the professional mics are not in frame.
No.
That's because the podcast studio just didn't have the proper recording device. However, luckily in my bag of magic tricks, we pulled out some very nice microphones. So I think the audio is still going to be booming. We're still in a soundproof room. I'm expecting a lot out of this podcast.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big one. I mean, people said going in, like, 49B, that's a special number. Like, you don't do episode 49B every day. Look, we want to do it big for episode 50. We're still going to. We don't even know definitively is the number 49. We kind of are just doing a ballpark estimate.
Right.
And if someone wants to go back and check, let us know. Maybe this is 50. Maybe it's 51.
That would be great, actually. If they could check, that would be wonderful.
Right.
Right off the jump, let's talk my birthday on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I just want to, we have some history talking about restaurants and kind of the performance of restaurants before, and we're critical. I mean, that's what we do. We're critical about everything, but that's because we were raised in the Northeast, and things were so bad up there in terms of the weather, the taxes, and just, the schools were great, friends are great, food's great, but the taxes, the weather, that's miserable, and people up there find comfort in misery, and a lot of people like to, be miserable together. So I say that because this segment is we had a bad restaurant experience, so we're going to talk about it on a sports podcast. That's the new series. That's the name of the new, whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah, it's the newest segment.
That's the newest segment on the show. So anyway, Noble Tavern, not to name names, in St. Pete. It was a tough experience. To give you guys some context, this is their second location. They have Noble Crust on 4th Street North. It's a pretty popular restaurant on 4th Street North, especially for how far it is outside of the city. And so they've been prepping this one in the bottom of a new apartment building for what seems like forever.
Probably a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a half minimum. I think they're a year and a half delayed from when they said they were actually going to open. So anyway, really cool sign outside. They got kind of like the open bar from the outside, so it always looks fun when you're driving by or walking by. So we were very excited to test this out. Now, I just want to walk you through a scenario, okay? We were 6 people. We were biking around town. We were trying to find a good spot to watch the Lightning Canadiens Game 7. Obviously, we're in Tampa Bay. No one gives a shit in St. Pete about sports, so there wasn't much buzz going on in the city. Let's just put it that way. But anyway, we bike by Noble Tavern, and we see that there's some good outdoor seating with some TV opportunities. So we say, okay, you know what? We're going to take this opportunity. We'll give them a chance. It's also my birthday. We walk in the door. We walk in. There's some tables open. We're like, oh, I think this is the wrong side. I think we're going in on the wrong side of the restaurant. Now, there's no signage saying this is the wrong door. So we walk back out. The door is on the other side. So we walk around the door. The other people are kind of outside. There's some high tops that it looks like maybe some people are leaving, maybe not. So I go in, the proper way. I go see the hostess. So I said, hey, hostess, we're 6 people. We would love to sit outside and watch Game 7 if possible. If not, no worries. We can sit inside too. I saw it had some open booths. So, whatever's easiest for you guys. And she goes and she looks outside and she sees the high top. And she goes, oh, it looks like actually those people are leaving the high top. That could fit your people. So I go, oh, okay, sweet. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to go grab it then. And I leave, and kind of as I was leaving, she's like, but I was like, no, I got to grab the high top, because every restaurant bar in America, in the bar section, when there's a high top, it's open seating. I don't care what anyone says. You can't be reserving these high tops. That's not what high tops are for. So we immediately go to the high top. Now, you'd think that we had committed murder-suicide by going to this high top, because immediately my wife goes in to try to get menus now, because we're all sitting in the high top. The high top's dirty. She goes in to get menus. The lady's like, you all need to come back inside. Let us clean off the table before you sit at the high top. And my wife was like, well, we're just going to stand around the high top. We're not going to come inside, because we don't need to have you telling us where to stand. So we'll just stand there, but you guys can just come clean the table. It's all good. Mind you, no hello, no how are you, oh no, are you here for an occasion? No, none of this. Just straight up fucking business talk. So, okay, now we go and sit down. They kind of come clear off half the table. There's still water jugs, old beer pitcher on the table. Then it appears then a fucking server who's not even a part of wasn't the hostess, wasn't even going to be our server, just walking by. He's got a full arm tattoo. It's just like one of those blacked out ones too. You know, like the weirdo hippie fucking people who like, it's not even a design, it's just a black arm. Oh yeah, a solid black arm. He goes, "Are you guys trying to get service here?" It was like, "Yeah, we are trying to get service here." "Well, if you want service, you got to go back inside to get menus." And I told the guy, I was like, "Yeah, no, we don't. So just go ahead and bring menus over when you get a chance, bud. Appreciate it." And he did not like that. He immediately, like, rudely just went back and said, 3 minutes later, a manager comes out with a spray bottle. And this is verbatim what she said. She comes up to the table and she goes, "All right, lift it up." And she has a spray bottle. She starts spraying the table while everyone's arms on the table. She sprayed my entire right arm. Did I overreact a little bit? Yes, I did. But she sprayed my entire right arm. I was like, "Dude, what are you doing? You just sprayed my entire right arm." And she goes, "Oh, now your hand's sanitized." And then just kept spraying the table. Didn't even offer me like a napkin or anything. I'm pissed now. Now I'm like, all right, this lady's doing this on purpose. I'm kind of fired up about this whole ordeal. We still don't have menus at this point. Now the table's fully cleared. 5 minutes later, no menus. Our server comes up to us, and he's like, I don't know, probably not the brightest guy in the world, but a nice guy, nice guy. He means well. He looks at me. I don't know why he looked at me but dead in the face, but he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, did you guys want menus?" I was like, "We would love menus." And he goes, he was like, "Oh, well, did the hostess not bring menus out?" I said, "Oh no, apparently we're not allowed to have menus at this table unless we go and check in back at the front desk." So I actually don't know how to get menus, but I would love a menu just to see, what you guys are offering to offer us for our money. So yeah, it's up to you though. If you want to bring menus, great. If not, I'm sure we can just not order anything and just sit here and watch the game. That's fine too. So anyway, he brings menus over. It's a fucking disaster. He also comes back with the menus. He's like, "So how's your day going?" I'm like, "Well, it was going well until your fucking asshole coworker was being a dick." And he didn't really know what to say. The whole ordeal was awful. Everything was super expensive. The menu is shit. All the food they made was just dumped with oil and butter. It was not good. We ordered the kale salad trying to be healthy, me and my wife. And it's just filled with giant pork, like fucking just pork fat, and just covered in cheese and sauce. I mean, there's no way my salad had less calories than the flatbread pizza. By the way, Andy, you got the flatbread pizza. Give us a quick Dave Portnoy review on this pizza.
I was a bit underwhelmed, I swear, because I heard they were from the same people who brought us Noble Crust. I figured, okay, I got a lean pizza here. That's their specialty. I was pretty underwhelmed. I mean, to be honest, I'm going like 5-1 on this barbecue chicken flatbread.
5-1 is a wild score to give this.
It might be generous. It is. I was pretty underwhelmed. I said at the time, I mean, this seems like something I would get probably at the Rays game. I saw some other flatbreads. Pepperoni looked a little better, but I don't know. That could have been something straight out of the frozen food aisle at Aldi.
It looked like a Tony's flatbread pizza. Also, can we get over these fucking restaurants making shitty pizza, putting pepperoni on it, and then their big fucking menu line is there's hot honey drizzled all over it? It's like, okay, great, but the pizza itself still has to be fucking good. You can't just rely on the fact that you're just dumping hot honey on it, that's going to bring the flavor to it. I'm fucking over these places. Anyway, Noble Tavern, 1 out of 10. For me, I give it a 0.1. Fuck that place. Fuck Noble Tavern. I hope that place is out of business within the next year and a half. That's all I'm giving them. And honestly, I'm a big St. Pete local guy. Like, I do not leave Google reviews on anything. Even if I have like a fucking raw chicken, I will not review something. But to just get treated like you're just a pile of shit when you're trying to pay $36 for an espresso martini is out of fucking control. So they need a management check. And the manager, honestly, who they had there, who sprayed all over my hand, she needs a fucking check from the owner, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, it was a wild showing at Noble Tavern, because I feel like we hit a lot of spots in St. Pete, and the service is usually at least good enough. Like we said it at the time, this place would have been a seamless fit in Austin, Texas, because it was about the level of service that we got during our trip to Austin. It must just be a place where behind the scenes employees are miserable. Like, I would love to know what goes on in the walls of that place, because they either just hired the worst servers in existence, or everyone's miserable and they're just taking it out on the employees. I liked at one point during it, you said, "Hey, isn't it weird? wouldn't you think places would want to take your money first and then be a dick to you? It's kind of like, it was very one-sided. It's kind of like they like treated us like shit. They were like, fuck you guys for coming here and trying to overpay for our shitty food. We were like, I don't know, what? Like, it was,
from the jump.
They were disgusted by our presence. Like, there was a group of 6. You might have a 7th coming. Like, oh. And you want to sit here and watch the game. It's like we actually should have been the easiest group to basically rob in existence. And also, why are we calling it flatbread now? It's pizza. It is pizza. Yes, the shape is a flatbread, but what?
It's always been.
It's always been pizza. I don't know what their angle is. Do they think that they're too nice of a place to call it pizza? They're like, no. We're a high-class, sophisticated place.
Horrible.
We don't do pizza. Yeah, your salad looked interesting. I was like, that salad looks pretty freaking good. Probably because it wasn't a health food item at all. It was basically just cheese and pork belly on a little bit of kale.
But that's my thing. It's like, you think I'm ordering the kale salad because I want it to taste good? Are you a fucking psychopath? If I wanted it to taste good, I would have got the Korean fried chicken sandwich. This is out of fucking control. If I'm getting the kale salad, just make it healthy. I mean, at least have one thing on the menu that somewhat doesn't make you feel like you need to go home and take a nap. And that amount of pork belly on there was disgusting.
That's
Absolutely
honestly just a
disgusting.
wild mix. Like, I get some blackened chicken in a Caesar salad. It's fantastic. But pork belly in a Caesar salad? Like, who thought of that? That's so random.
Well, someone was like, hey, should we just go ahead and like put bacon bits in there? And they're like, what if we put giant pieces of pork belly in there instead? Oh, then we differentiate ourselves from the other Caesar salad. No, you suck. That's what happened. Last thing I'll say about this, and then we'll move on to the real stuff, which is sports.
Oh, yeah.
It was a group of 7, and the guy goes to take the first order, which was me. And I ordered for me and my wife, and I tried to make it easy on him. I said, hey, we all don't want to pay on the same bill, so it's going to be me and her. And he goes, yeah, we could do that. Or I could just bring out the whole bill, and then you guys just give me 7 credit cards. I was like, well, that's why I'm fucking saying this. I don't want to do that because they're all drinking. I'm not drinking. He's going to order one thing. They're going to order 4. Just fucking take ours, take his at the beginning. And then he goes, oh, well, now's not the time to do that. I'll do it at the end. I've never been a server. But I think now is exactly the time to do it. I think it's very simple. I'm not a genius, but I think in there you can just go D1, and then that's their meal. D2, that's their meal. And then I think you can just click D1 and 2 are together. But maybe I'm an idiot.
No, that I was dying when I heard that response because you were trying to make it a lot easier. It almost seemed like he was like, dude, I'm so freaking high right now. Maybe in like 45 minutes I'll sober up a little bit and that will be simpler, but I just cannot deal with that right now. Like, I don't know. Thank you for trying to help me split up. Like, I don't know. He's like, yeah, we'll cross the bridge when we come to it. Cross the bridge when we come to it. I don't know. I kind of like that guy. He seemed a little bit dope, but probably the nicest guy in the experience.
Oh, super nice guy.
And yeah, honestly,
none of it was him.
I just saw, it was crazy looking at you that day. I saw a changed man. I mean, you're not touching the sauce anymore. No booze, biking around town. Trent is ordering vegetables. You didn't know that it was going to be mostly pork belly, but you're eating vegetables and hummus. I'm like, this guy is turning things around in real time. And yeah, I didn't see any symptoms of alcohol withdrawal. It seemed like you had like just a great birthday.
Yeah, I mean, aside from apparently my wife saying that I've been very agitated the last couple days, I didn't put 1 and 2 together or 2 and 2 together. That might be a symptom of me not drinking alcohol.
So I think at one point she said like, hey, I think you might have a drinking problem. I think the problem was that you weren't drinking. You know, that is the drinking problem.
It's like, wait, you want me to be nice to you? Well, the only way I can do that is if I'm drinking booze. So, but you said we should probably not drink booze. So I'm at a loss here. This is a classic being a husband. It's like, do you want me to be nice or do you want me to not drink? You can't have both.
Yeah. So,
which is normal.
It really is. So I'm glad we were able to get together on your birthday. Noble Tavern, they are the sponsor for the remainder of this podcast. So
they are.
Noble Tavern, St. Petersburg, Central Avenue.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Right next to Chase Bank.
Yeah. So, hey, that's a place. You can go there.
All right, Andy, what's happening in the real sports world?
Here, world of sports. I mean, we had 3 Game 7s of the first round in the NBA this past weekend. It's the talk of the town. We got to hit it from the rip. The 76ers defeated the Boston Celtics 109-100 on Saturday night. They completed the 3-1 comeback. For the 76ers, it's the first comeback from down 3-1 in their franchise history. It's the Celtics' first blown 3-1 lead in franchise history. It's the 76ers' first playoff win over the Celtics since 1982. And most importantly, Saturday night was Paul George's birthday. He turned 36. NBA players are now 7-0 all-time in Game 7s on their birthday. So Philly advances. Another shocking early exit for these crazy Boston Celtics. As a Celtic fan, I am disgusted with the way things went down. It is credit to the 76ers. They played some good team basketball, but there's a problem up in Boston. I mean, Jason Tatum did not play in Game 7. He kind of hurt himself in Game 6. They called it a sore right knee. And the Celtics wanted to play it super conservative. I don't necessarily disagree with the decision because the team looks so dumb and lifeless. After Tatum just had a year-long rehab from this Achilles, it almost didn't seem worth risking him to play in this 7th game. Like, what if he got hurt just trying to get through this Sixer team to, in all likelihood, get smacked around by the Knicks, who beat the Celtics a year ago? So Tatum doesn't start, but I don't know if you saw the starting lineup the Celtics threw out there. This was absolutely wild. It's like Tatum's on the bench. Okay, you're probably going to have a different forward starting his spot. The Celtics threw out a starting lineup with 3 guys who are pretty much G League players. You know, Joe Mazzulla caught a lot of heat earlier in the series for not using his bench. I mean, he threw Ron Harper Jr., Baylor Shireman, and Luka Garza in the starting lineup. If you want to put one of those guys in there, fine. And the next thing you know, Celtics, they're down 15 points multiple times off the rip in the first quarter. They played catch-up the whole game. It was crazy. But the reaction to the loss is crazy. Celtic fans everywhere, they're pissed. They're devastated by this loss. Embarrassed. This coupled with the loss to the Knicks last season, it's like something needs to change. Why do we keep losing to these lesser teams? Within the team, though, these Boston Celtics seem completely unbothered by this loss to the 76ers. Like, it happened with the Knicks last season. The Celtics lose, but at the time, a lot of the attention was diverted to, we just hope Tatum's okay towards Achilles. It's so sad. It, like, kind of softened the loss. This time around, the guys seem pretty unbothered. I mean, we have Jalen Brown on the podium saying that he's had more fun this season than any other year. Dude, read the room. The comparison has been made 1,000 times since, but I think it's a phenomenal comparison. It would be like if a member of the New York Yankees, after their 0-4 ALCS collapse to the Red Sox, it'd be like if Jorge Posada at the podium said, you have won World Series before, but this is probably the most fun I had in any season. Like, there is no sense among the Celtics that they're embarrassed by this loss. There's no sense of devastation. It's just like, what are you going to do? And I find the reaction a little bit alarming. It feels like a makeup issue.
Well, there's got to be a sense in Boston that Joe Mazzulla has got to have a shorter leash. I don't know if he gets fired this year, obviously, because he's a young, up-and-coming coach. He just signed the extension, whatever. But there has to be some pressure on his ass because the way they're losing these series, up 3-1 to a Sixers team who, let's put it, you have Embiid who's, the guy can barely stay healthy for a complete series, let alone season. You have Paul George who's 36 years old. I mean, this is kind of ridiculous that the Celtics are even in question. Now, I will say this about Jason Tatum, and I've said this all along. This guy goes out there at the beginning of his career, and he talks all about, Kobe was my mentor, Kobe this, Kobe that, Kobe. Kobe would never fucking sit out a Game 7 in the most important playoff series of your now career. And you are going to fucking sit there on the bench with a fucking stiff knee? I mean, that is fucking ridiculous. Kobe has Mamba mentality. Jason Tatum has garden snake mentality. This guy is a fucking bum. If I'm Boston, I am very concerned that my one superstar is saying he had the most fun season he's ever had in Jalen Brown, and the other one's like, my knee's a little stiff for Game 7. That is not a winning franchise. And it was sad seeing Peyton Pritchard out there trying to carry the Boston Celtics. Frankly, embarrassing. And Derek White, don't love his new teeth. I think he should just go back to not having any because this guy is now a bum. He does not look like the Olympic basketball Derek White we knew. I don't like him. I don't like the team. I think the Celtics are the biggest disappointment in the NBA this year, bar none, not even close.
Yeah, I think it's clear that, the championship in 2024 was the anomaly. Like, the Celtics lose to the Knicks last season. Most of the NBA world can't believe it. and the thought was, you can't get any lower than this. I mean, this was an all-time F-up, but it won't happen again. You'll learn your lesson. No, that's what the Boston Celtics are under Joe Mazzulla, and until something changes in terms of play style or they prove it to us in a future postseason, the Celtics no longer deserve the benefit of the doubt when it comes to being a real threat in the playoffs, because they're going to win a lot of regular season games, but they keep on coming up short to inferior opponents. That's why I would make the move off of Joe Mazzulla. He might win Coach of the Year, and hey, the Celtics did overachieve in the regular season. They had a bunch of high-energy bench guys, play good basketball, but the stubbornness with their three-point style, it doesn't translate to the postseason. It's like, yeah, you're getting all these good looks in the regular season, and in aggregate, if you can shoot this three-point shot at this clip, well, it's going to work out. It's a different animal in the playoffs. For the first time all season, you're actually getting the other team's best defensively. So none of these looks are nearly as easy to hit when you have a guy up in your face. Also, everyone's tighter in the playoffs. It's a lot harder to make a three-point shot in a high-stakes game. It's like how Dwight Howard could never shoot in a regular season game, but during warm-ups, he's raining threes. It's the higher the stakes are, the tighter everyone is, and the tougher it is to actually get the ball to go in. Lastly, it makes you soft when you just play around the perimeter. It's like if all you do is stand out on the outside, pass the ball around, and hook up threes, are you really going to go back down the court, bring the same intensity on the defensive end? It's like if you're driving in the paint, you're bumping into guys, that's a more physical style of basketball. It takes the physicality away. And when you drive to the basket, you can get the other team's defenders in foul trouble. You can get to the free throw line. Making a free throw can be a good way to get your rhythm back, which maybe you can take that back out to the three-point line and feel more confident about that three going in. They need to take a look at the play style, but I think of everything that happened in the aftermath of the Celtics losing, the low point might have been the Jalen Brown live stream on Sunday night after the game. I mean, not only did he double down saying that this was the most fun he's had in a season, which, don't you think that's kind of a shitty shot at his friend and teammate Jason Tatum? It's like, I feel like it's one of those things that it's okay to think, like, yeah, dude, it was pretty awesome. I got to be the guy this year. I got to have the ball a ton, scored a ton of points. People said I was an MVP candidate. But it's like, dude, Jason Tatum is like recovering from a torn Achilles all season. He's having a shit year. And you're just talking about how much fun it was. You're like, this is the most fun I've ever had. Like, you've been to conference finals together, NBA finals. You've won a title together, and you won the MVP award. It's wild reaction. And then he's going on live stream just complaining about Embiid flopping. It's like, dude, you blow a 3-1 series lead, no one wants to hear that. So when I look at Jalen Brown, it's like sometimes the best thing you can say at a certain time is nothing. And, no one is forcing you to just say dumb things into a camera and record it and post it on the internet. So we live in a time where probably not everyone needs a podcast. Not everyone necessarily deserves that outlet. So, I would tell Jalen Brown right now, just be a little smarter, have a little more
sense about yourself.
Yeah, it's not every thought you have, not every half-baked thought you have needs to be recorded and posted on the internet.
Let me ask you this, Andy. Who would you say, if you're thinking about like a successful team who kind of started maybe trends in the NBA, started the whole trend of just shooting a bunch of fucking threes?
Honestly, everyone's going to say, you want me to say Golden State?
Well, I mean, that's kind of like what the consensus is.
I think it's the stupid Houston Rockets.
It could be, but I'm saying like in the NBA trend overall, like it's kind of a thing that the Warriors started that trend. Well, in 2015, how many three-pointers per game do you think the Warriors shot in the playoffs?
25.
30.
Okay.
Which at the time seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics in this last series, how many shots in three-point per game did they average?
I want to say 49.
48 shot three-pointers per game.
So
just to give you some reference is that's almost, what is that, 50% more?
Yeah,
so they're shooting 50% more threes than basically what people would think as the most three-point shooting team of all time in Steph Curry in 2015. So my point being, and I think yours reigns true, is that's a great regular season strategy, but in the playoffs, that kind of volume is just not going to cut it, especially when you're playing big men like Joel Embiid, who they don't need to go out there and shoot the three. They'll just hammer it inside, and get those easy buckets. And I think you're seeing that in this playoffs, that big men are kind of coming back in the NBA. And frankly, I think it's good for the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, an interesting stat, no team has ever won the NBA title shooting more three-pointers than twos. And the Celtics have been on this the last 2 seasons. We've seen some Houston Rocket teams do it. And everyone thinks like, oh, well, the Warriors did. They won that way. 1, they didn't shoot nearly as many threes as you remember. And 2, maybe the reason they shot so many threes is because they had 2 of the best three-point shooters to ever do it. And then when Kevin Durant came along, they had a third of one of the best. It's like the Celtics have guys who can hit the three, but it's when you're comparing them to all-time great shooters, they're not on that level.
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, or Derek White, Jalen Brown, and Peyton Pritchard.
Right.
I mean, come on, that's not even that. But yeah, I know Boston down bad, not doing well. I said it last podcast, but your city is having an all-time bad run after an all-time good run, and I'm kind of here for it.
Yeah. So Celtics coming back down to earth after a dominant stretch for a few years, but a lot of questions to be answered.
Are you guys the one which NFL team drafted that guy who was doing the weird dance?
Oh, that's the Patriots. Caleb Lamu.
Caleb Lamu, you guys fucked it up again. First you got Will Alligator Arms fucking Campbell, and now you got Lamu, who's dancing like an absolute freak.
Well, what's funny is no one will say it, but Lamu is probably supposed to be Will Campbell's replacement. Like, Will Campbell is probably either going to guard or he's going over to right tackle. They don't want to say it because Lamu has only played left tackle. They're acting right now like he's going to be right tackle.
Oh, he's definitely going to left tackle. Will Campbell lost him the Super Bowl, so I was early on that. Patriots front staff clearly saw it. Just saying, you want good, accurate takes, Lawn Chair Sports is here for you.
We've always have been. That's what you said. Yeah. Next up, come Sunday afternoon, we had the Pistons completing their 3-1 comeback. 2 first-round comebacks from 3-1. They come back to defeat the Orlando Magic. Magic subsequently after fired head coach Jamal Mosley.
Yes.
Real up and down season for the Magic. Coming into the year, a lot of people had them as maybe one of the top teams in the East. They barely snuck in as a play-in team, but then kind of looked like it was all coming together, up 3-1 against these crazy Detroit Pistons, where it all went wrong. Game 6, second half, shot about 3 for 49 from the field. One of the worst offensive outputs we have ever seen, and they decide they need to change course.
Yeah, I mean, Wagner went down. I don't think that helped the Magic at all, but I mean, you could see when he was out there, it was tough for Boncaro to even get things going because his surrounding cast is it's just not there. Honestly, it's just not there. I didn't like seeing Suggs out there just kind of playing bad basketball. It seemed like they were searching for an answer and just could not find one. Just no rhythm, no flow. It makes sense that they would make a coaching change because it did show that it's like one guy goes down and it just seemed like they couldn't mesh anything together. But that's the nature of the beast. You're getting paid the big bucks in the NBA. You got to find a way to win when stars go down in the playoffs. That is not an excuse. So unfortunately, Orlando kind of blowing things up. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some big offseason stuff. In terms of Detroit, good for them. They should have won this series. They were definitely the favorites, obviously, 1 versus 8. So this wasn't even a question that it should have even gone to a Game 7. I think they're going to be in trouble moving into round 2. I don't like their young roster they have now. I think they are pretenders.
Yeah, I was happy to see Detroit win. I feel like it's been kind of a tortured sports fan base, so happy to see, Little Caesars Arena rocking on Sunday, and fans are really fired up. I spoke highly of Desmond Bane when the Magic were up in the series. They went out and traded 4 first-round picks to get this guy a year ago because they really needed some shooting. But now, since they lost, I'm going to say negative things about him.
Good.
He kind of disappeared down the stretch. It's like he did not shoot the ball well in Game 6 and Game 7. Desmond Bane is also turning into one of the biggest clowns in the NBA. He comes from the Memphis Grizzlies. It almost seems he got to Orlando and said, oh, wait, you guys, you're kind of missing like a nut job on the roster. And just decided, all right, I need to be like you guys as Dylan Brooks. The amount of moments throughout the regular season where this guy was just committing wild flagrant 2 fouls. He had multiple scenarios where he just wound up and launched the ball right at somebody. One time in the face, one time right in the chest. I think he had a little had one with OG Anunoby where Anunoby was just like not even upset. Was just like, dude, like, are you good? Like that is. He's like, oh, I'm trying to save the ball from going out of bounds. Like, no, that was you didn't need to do that at all. Like you, legitimately. So this guy's a freaking nut job, and I don't know. It's a lot to give up.
Yeah, but I don't think there's enough talk in the sports world about Desmond Bane. I mean, clearly this guy's doing too much upper body. I mean, he needs to cool down on the arms. Basketball players aren't yoked for a reason. I mean, they're fit. They're jacked in their own right, but they're not muscle bound. And Desmond Bane is specifically, in comparison to everyone else, very tight and muscle bound up top. Not a good look. I also like when really unathletic looking people make comments like that about sports players, like judging their body types like that and saying that they're bad because of it.
Right.
So it's funny when I say it because I think it's funny when other people say it and I'm saying it. So I stick by it though. He's too muscle bound up top.
Yeah, it is hilarious, especially for someone who's known for the ability to shoot. It's like usually guys with just like juicy arms are not knocking down threes.
Correct.
And he wasn't in Game 6 and 7.
Like even if you go to an LA Fitness and you're just playing a pickup game, usually the guys are just like yoked, like they can't physically do a smooth 3-point shot. So usually like the tall, lanky guys are who you want to draft first at LA Fitness.
Yeah, so interesting to see where the Orlando Magic go from here. Last up, one more Game 7. I thought this was a pretty entertaining series. The Cavaliers outlasted the Toronto Raptors. They win Game 7 on their home court. The home team won every game in the series. I thought this was a pretty good series. I didn't expect much from these Toronto Raptors, but I thought they gave a pretty good showing. I kind of like this young group they have. You know, we said we like Scotty Barnes. This Jamal Shed, I don't know how good he is, but he was just making hustle plays. Like, he's the kind of guy, if you had him on your team, you would love him. Just selfless, diving on the floor, you know, high basketball IQ. They have some other young guys who are intriguing. This Colin Murray Boyles. Like, I think the Raptors are heading in the right direction. So they'll be exciting for years to come.
Yeah, I like the Raptors, but how many more years can RJ Barrett be considered a young talent? Because I feel like he's been in the league now for 10 years, and everyone keeps saying, no, he's young, give him time, give him time. No, RJ Barrett is officially a bum. He's officially a draft bust. This guy sucks. Whenever he shoots a three, you know how you watch some players and you're like, oh, shit, it's going to go in. Every time RJ Barrett shoots, I'm like, clank, clank. And when it goes in, I'm like, oh, shit, RJ Barrett made a three. This guy sucks. I know he's from Canada. Keep him up there. America doesn't need him. He's not a good basketball player. I am not an RJ Barrett fan. And his time at Duke didn't like that either, and he didn't win then either. So RJ Barrett officially a bust after this series.
Yeah, I couldn't have been more sure when he released that shot at the end of Game 6. I was like, all right, no chance this is going in. And it looked like it wasn't. Bounced all the way up in the air. It rattled in. I mean, people were compared it to Kawhi. It reminded me of Tyrese Halliburton's back-breaking shot against the Knicks in the playoffs last year. It was wild. That's a good point. But since that shot went in, he probably bought himself about 2 or 3 more years of people talking about him as if he's a relevant NBA player.
Correct.
So
100%.
Shout out to RJ Barrett. Yeah, Cavs did just enough to survive, but we had some drama before the game that I loved.
Yes.
I'm talking about Evan Mobley's mom on Instagram reposting a quote from Richard Jefferson talking about Donovan Mitchell's play style. And we're going to pull up the quote from Richard Jefferson.
No, people need to hear this because, and we've talked about this before, if you are a family member, just shut the fuck up online, especially in the playoffs. But Andy, what did Mobley's mom repost?
Yeah, this is what she reposted. This is a quote from Richard Jefferson. I don't think how Donovan Mitchell plays basketball is a recipe for success. Him taking a back seat in this series is absolutely necessary. And you just got to love it when, wives, parents, family members chime in and just kind of give their opinion on how the team should be run. It's like, guys think things like this in the NBA all the time, but you are doing Evan Mobley no favors by just airing this out. Like, yeah, honestly, the two guys probably hate each other. But what does that help the Cavaliers making this public? It's also funny because Evan Mobley is an uber-talented player but plays super soft. So what is she advocating for? No, the offense needs to be run through Evan Mobley? It's too much Mitchell? I mean, I don't even understand what the point is there. I'm sure the Cavs would love for him to be a volume guy. They just can't trust him. He seems he doesn't want to bang around down low. So it's a wild move, but I love when the family members get involved and just stir up a bunch of crap that the athlete has to clean up.
The lack of self-awareness when you're retweeting or reposting something like that really baffles my brain. It really does. What is going through these family members' heads, the girlfriends' heads, the ex? It just shows the level of schooling that these people have, that their family members have. Clearly none, because just no one with half a brain would ever do that. these people are idiots, and it's amazing that their kids are this talented and can support their life, because I think without their kid being in the NBA, there's a chance they might be on food stamps.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Ooh, that take took a turn.
And when family members get involved, nothing good ever comes out of it.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Including, except for Ken Griffey Jr. and except for LeBron James.
So Cavs doing enough to stay alive. They move on to round 2.
Yeah, and I will say this about the Cavs. They have so much talent on the roster, but they just do not play like a team. They do not play team basketball. It's either Donovan Mitchell doing a one-on-one, it's Harden doing a one-on-one, or it's Mobley doing a one-on-one, or it's Jared Allen just flailing around with his wildly long arms, just seeming like he's completely out of control at all times. Jared Allen is the new JaVale McGee. It's like they're not bad players, and they have so much potential, and they're so lanky and good, but they just feel like they just don't have control over their extremities. It's kind of insane to watch. I did like seeing Jared Allen and James Harden playing pretty good defense in Game 7. It gives me a little bit of hope for Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland moves past round 2.
Okay. There you go.
Yep.
I feel like that might contradict what you said like 20 minutes ago, but you know what? We're going to get into it because next up, it's the next segment. It's what the people want. It's the NBA round 2 preview, even though 2 of the series have already started. That's right. It's the NBA round 2 preview, even though 2 of the series have already started. And by the time this comes out, every series will have started. But hey, whatever. Last time we had the New York Knicks taking a 1-0 series lead. They beat the Sixers big in Game 1 at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks are minus 425 to win the series. Heavy favorites. What do we think happens in this one?
I think Brunson just leads the way. These guys are the hungriest team in the NBA right now. I like these Knicks. I think they're going to take the Eastern Conference, but they're definitely going to win this easily. The Sixers just don't have the firepower to last.
Yeah. How many games you got the Knicks in?
4. Sweep.
Knicks, you got the Knicks sweeping. Yeah. I also believe the Knicks are the best team in the Eastern Conference. I expect them to win the East. I do think Philly's going to put up more of a fight because there was a lot at play in this one. Like, Philly just played Saturday night, their Game 7 in Boston, whereas the Knicks had been off since Thursday night. So double the rest going into this one. And we see a lot of the times, like a Game 1 of a series is not actually indicative of how the rest will play out. Like, I think it's the most likely game of a series to be the outlier. And we just saw the Sixers get blown out in Boston in Game 1 of their series a couple weeks ago. And everyone said, oh my God, this is going to be a bloodbath. They have no shot. That was before Embiid came back. But I think the Sixers are going to put it together, show the Knicks a little something. I expect them to put up a fight in this series. I think the current iteration of the Sixers actually is pretty solid. If you have Maxey, Edgecombe hitting shots, Playoff P is back. Podcast P no longer. He put the podcast on hold. Maybe Jalen Brown should have followed. Podcast P locked in. He's Playoff P again. And Embiid, if he can keep it together for
the
a few more games, I think the Knicks win in 6 games.
Okay.
But I don't think it will be as much of a cakewalk as Game 1.
More credit than I thought, but I guess they beat you, so you have to like.
That's good.
Like
Yeah,
they're
I'm
good.
like, dude. Actually, I'm like the Sixers are actually pretty fucking good, dude.
Man.
The amount of people on the internet were doing that, they're like, guys, it shouldn't be a surprise the Celtics lost. Like, this starting lineup in Philly is loaded. I'm like, if I said that a week ago, you would have laughed at me.
Right.
Everyone's like, no, dude, it actually makes complete sense. It's totally normal to blow.
First off, Maxey's like a superstar that's underappreciated. They have Joel Embiid came back healthy. They've been playoff P. But no, the Sixers are trash. They're going to lose. It's not even going to be a series.
Yeah. So we both have the Knicks taking this one. Next up, shocker out west, the Timberwolves stealing Game 1 in San Antonio. They hang on to win by 2. They lead the series 1-0. Anthony Edwards, who we thought would be out for some time with a hyperextended knee, made a miraculous return. He played 25 minutes off the bench, and he was big time. Timberwolves lead the series 1-0, but the Spurs, they're still minus 185 to win the series.
Couple things. Number one, 2 days ago, I watched a YouTube video on Anthony Edwards' channel. He's got his own YouTube channel, and it was all about his injury and his thing. And they showed him with his knee taped up. He was walking up the stairs. I thought this guy was going to be out for like 8 weeks minimum. I mean, it looked like he needed surgery with how bad he was walking the thing. I say that all-time fucking strategy by Anthony Edwards, putting out that video, making it look like he is the most injured person in the world, then just to find out that he's totally back in Game 1, plays his ass off when he gets in the game. Another story I have on this game is I was sitting there and I was on Robinhood and they have the futures betting there where you can bet just like Kalshi and all that shit. And I was like, let's see what we got going on today. I look, there's, they're playing. You got the San Antonio Spurs versus the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep.
I was like, the Spurs are going to win easy. Like, this is the lock of the day. So I go in there, I put in $1,000. It says like, you'll win $200 if you put $1,000. So not great betting. Like, that's just kind of bad. What's the point of putting up $1,000 just to win $200? Kind of not worth it, right? Then I was like, all right, how much do I have to like put in the bet to make it like worth the amount of money, or just like an amount of money that gets me going? I was like, $15,000 to win $17,000. I was very close to fucking clicking that, like really close, because in my head I was like, there's 0% chance that the Timberwolves are going to win. I did not click that, and when I saw the fucking score the next day, I could not have been a happier man.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I had no idea that Anthony Edwards was going to come back.
No, I didn't either. That's why I was going to bet.
So I kind of felt bad for the Timberwolves. Like, such an impressive first-round win. I was like, no Anthony Edwards. I mean, what are you going to do against these Spurs? The Timberwolves are proven to just be playoff dogs. They always overachieve. I mean, we need to take them seriously. And Ant is even remotely healthy. They are a contender to win any playoff series. Also, most teams, I mean, what are you possibly going to do with Wemby? This guy's an absolute freak. Putting Rudy Gobert on him is not a bad move. For all the crap this guy gets for having no offensive game, I feel like a lot of other players are envious of him. Why is he winning so many Defensive Player of the Years? I mean, we got French setter on French center, and better option than most teams have to kind of slow down Wembanyama. I think we're going to be in for a classic. I love watching the T-Wolves in the playoffs, so I hope this is a long series. I'm still going to stick with the Spurs. I'm going to say the Spurs pull it out in 7 games.
I have the Spurs in 6. I think the Spurs figure it out. I think they kind of steamroll over Minnesota when they are supposed to. I think this was a fluke. You mentioned game 1's being kind of a fluke. I think this was one of them. They also lost close. I think there was a lot of points left on the table. But you look at someone like Wembanyama with an NBA record 12 blocks in game 1. This guy is an absolute menace in the paint. I have the Spurs.
Yeah. So, should be a great series out west.
6.
At least one of the series out west should be good. Because next up, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Los Angeles Lakers. The Thunder are heavy favorites to win this series. Minus 2,000.
No.
Yeah, the Lakers are plus 900 to win the series. Now, Luka is still out to start the series. There's some thought he could come back later on in the series, but LeBron, your GOAT. I mean, after all he showed the world in that Houston series, getting no respect, people expecting the Thunder to steamroll these crazy Lakers.
900?
Yeah.
All right, I got to look at this on the betting app here.
So, here's why I think this is way too much. I mean, yes, on paper, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a much better team than a decimated Lakers team with no Luka, but round 2 has been a round of horrors for defending champs in years past. Like, from the 2019 Raptors onward, every defending champion subsequently has lost in the second round or earlier. The 2020 Lakers, the following season, lost in the first round. So that doesn't actually really have anything to do with this series that's going on right now, but it's a good historical note that the defending champion often flames out in the second round. I mean, last year, I don't think at the time, many people thought the New York Knicks were going to beat the Celtics, the defending champs. And the year before, I don't think many people thought the Timberwolves were going to beat the Denver Nuggets, the defending champs. I wouldn't count out LeBron and the Lakers in this one. The way he's playing, he's had so many major impressive wins throughout his career. And I think sometimes the way we talk about it's hyperbole. But if LeBron, especially without Luka from the majority of the series, is able to knock off these crazy Oklahoma City Thunder, that might be the most impressive playoff win of his career. And the obvious comparison is the 3-1 comeback against Golden State. But if anything could rival it, I mean, knocking off OKC here would be right there.
I'm sorry, I kind of went dark there. I just put a $200 bet on them to win the series. It pays out like $4,500.
It's great.
And I just put a bet on them for the game tonight. I think the Lakers, we said it before, we'll say it again. Don't bet against LeBron, playoff James. This guy has proven year after year after year, basically since fruit roll-ups and gushers were 50 cents on the lunch line, this guy has been playing the best playoff basketball ever. Now, I don't even know if fruit roll-ups and gushers can even be sold legally to kids because they were making an entire generation have diabetes and fat.
Yeah, I think RFK, he's all over that. They are no longer allowed in schools, at the very least.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, now you can get peptides at school lunches.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does. And if Luka's able to come back, is he going to be playing 100% right away? Maybe not, but remember the last time this Thunder team lost in the playoffs, they won the title last year, but in 2024, it was Luka Doncic and his crazy Dallas Mavericks who knocked off a favorite Thunder team. So I don't think it's crazy. I think the odds makers and everyone is just getting a little ahead of themselves with how good this OKC team is. It's a great team. They look dominant in the first round. Crazier things have happened.
Bet of the week, bet LA.
I'd be tempted to bet the Lakers as well.
Yeah. I still think Oklahoma City probably wins in 5. So unfortunately for my $200, it'll probably be put behind a barn and shot. But that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah, I'm going to say OKC wins this in 6 games. I think the Lakers will give them a little more pushback than Vegas and the public are expecting.
And I think it's good for fans to realize that when you're watching our podcast, the opinions can flip so fast that you need to be dialed in at every single minute of the game.
Absolutely. But maybe winning the series is a stretch, but a game 1 bet, not a bad one. I might punch it in. Actually, it won't really help you because game 1 will have already been played by that point. Right. But if Lakers do in game 1, what about a game 2 bet? No one thinks LA's going to go up 2-0 on the road.
That's right. I like it.
But maybe they already lost, so it doesn't matter. Either way, final series of the second round. It's a Midwest matchup for the ages. It's Ohio versus Michigan. It's the Detroit Pistons, Cleveland Cavaliers going at it. The Pistons are a slight favorite, -120 to win this series. They have home court. What do we think about this one?
I don't think home court matters for them. I don't. I think Cleveland, I did say both these teams weren't going to win, but now I have to shift because obviously that can't happen.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I will take Cleveland over Detroit, and I think it's going to be kind of a no-brainer on this one, to be perfectly honest. I think Donovan Mitchell and James Harden figure it out. They're going to make up with Mobley down center. And Jared Allen is kind of that X factor, that JaVale McGee. Think about when the Lakers won the championship in the bubble. JaVale McGee was a big part of that. I think Jared Allen plays that role for them.
Yeah, this was a tough one for me to pick. But I'm ultimately going to roll with the Pistons in 7 games. And it's tough because I think the Cavaliers are good enough to just win the East. But they just showed me something in that Raptors series. Like, they were dying to lose that series and throw it away. And I think the Pistons are just a little bit of a step up from what the Toronto Raptors have talent-wise. I also think you look at the 2 bigs on the Cavaliers, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen. The potential is through the roof, but they play a little soft. They don't play like bigs. And you look at the 2 bigs for Detroit. We're talking about old school, crazy, bad boy Piston types. Isaiah Stewart, he's ready to get in a fight with anybody. And Jalen Duren, he had a bad series, but he's kind of one and the same. Like, he is a nut job, too, who's ready to, scrap with anybody. So you might see those 2 bigs for Cleveland just turtle in this series.
Yeah, and I do have an ongoing bet with Kevin on this one. It is $1,000 to me if any team except for Cleveland wins the East, and $4,000 to him if Cleveland wins the East. So I really am rooting for Detroit in this series.
Yeah.
But I do think Cleveland wins this one.
Yeah, so this should be a good one. I expect it to be a long series. How many games do you think it takes for Cleveland to get it done?
6.
Nice. Yeah. All right. So, as always, Lawn Chair Sports, it's mostly us agreeing with each other, but, slight disagreement on the slight one. No, I got the Pistons winning.
Yeah, so look at that. We're fucking we're on board today.
No, exactly. We only picked 3 of the same series winners, so that's good.
But
that's
we
good.
changed game counts.
I agree.
So it's like, but we would be doing a disservice to the fans if we were just doing things just to be different.
I agree.
We
it wouldn't be authentic. Here. It would not be authentic. So, second round, we'll be checking in. Who knows at what frequency? But we'll be checking at some point, probably.
We'll be checking in.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
That's round 2 of the NBA playoffs, so we're very excited for it, and more great action ahead. Elsewhere in sports world and just the world, Tampa Bay Lightning fell in Game 7 to the crazy Montreal Canadiens. Kind of a stunner.
Yep.
Because Tampa Bay way outshot Montreal in terms of shots on goal.
29 shots on goal to 10 shots on goal, which is the lowest shots on goal to win a Game 7, I think, in NHL history. So this game was an absolute stunner. What a series, though. I mean, I think 3 or 4 of the games went to overtime. Every single game was an absolute instant classic. The city of Montreal needed this. The great folks of Montreal, Canada, needed this win, and the city is buzzing. I am so excited for Montreal. They haven't seen a Canadiens team like this in generations. And everyone in Montreal right now is saying the same thing. Can this young buck of a team just make a little Canadian miracle, being the last Canadian team left in the Stanley Cup playoffs? The entire country is now riding for the Montreal Canadiens. And you look at the team roster from Caulfield all the way on down to the best goaltending series I have ever seen. And then, ironically enough, you have Martin St. Louis as the coach for the Canadiens, who used to be a big star for Tampa Bay. And he is leading these guys. He was in the locker room going, oh, oh, oh. So if you got a guy that fired up going into this, Martin St. Louis also 5'2", so when he does that, it means more. It just means more when short people do it. And that locker room's buzzing. They play my Buffalo Sabres in round 2. It's going to be a hell of a series. First game is Wednesday night. Montreal Canadiens, young squad. Buffalo Sabres, young squad. You're going to have a lot of energy. You're going to have a lot of checks. Good defense. It's going to be must-watch TV. 2 crazy fan bases, and I'm excited to see what happens. Also, shout out Evan, who runs the social media for the Montreal Canadiens. He will be in the locker room, living the dream. He's on the run of his life. You know, a guy like him grows up in Hudson, Quebec, grows up wanting, just being a huge sports fan. And Montreal Canadiens are the team in Montreal. There's no football. There's no baseball anymore. They're the fucking team, and this city rides or dies with these Canadiens. And the Habs, I think, unfortunately, lose in 7 games to the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, it's a crazy one. I mean, we're talking about 2 markets who they are locked in on hockey. They're fired up. They're pumped. Their teams are there. I'm tired of these Sunbelt teams going on deep Stanley Cup playoff runs. So even though I'm a Boston fan, I'm not supposed to root for Montreal. I was happy to see them knock off the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I guess I probably shouldn't get upset by things that bring other people happiness, but just seeing all the people not from Tampa Bay area who were like, oh, Bolts, yeah. Like, when we were watching the game on Sunday, Kevin was like, yes, Bolts scored. I was just like, shut the fuck up. It disgusted me. I just wanted them to lose so badly. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm putting a live bet on Montreal. It was great. I'm pumped to see them go down. 4 straight first-round exits. You're not real hockey fans. You're not, okay? The people down here, it's like, you're a bunch of phonies. Tampa Bay is a clown sports town. This should be a classic. This should be an absolute classic. And, I mean, you mentioned Evan, but it sounds like we might have a little bit of a house divided. You have a wife from Montreal. I
do. Yeah, it's a house divided. We were talking about going up to maybe Game 3 in Montreal to see her family and go to a game. Turns out it would cost about $7,000 US to do that. So we decided we could probably put that towards an all-inclusive 2-week vacation anywhere in the world. So we're not going to go to a game, but we will be tuned the fuck in. And we don't have a bet currently on the game, but I have a lot of good ideas, including not drying my dog off from the pool for the next month. That would be insanely amazing. Not ever getting nagged again about leaving socks on the ground. Not having to make the bed in the morning. And basically any other thing that I get nagged about every single day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot
I don't know what
really.
I would give, but maybe just the opposite of what I don't want, which would probably make her very happy.
Yeah, so a lot on the line this series, more than just hockey, it sounds like.
A lot on the line.
More than just hockey. We're very excited for that series. All right, another big event last weekend. the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
Kentucky Derby, everyone's talking about it. It sounds like it was a classic. I heard it was a fantastic Kentucky Derby.
The first female trainer to ever train the winning horse.
Wow. So, good for her. I did not take in any of it. I did not take in any of the Kentucky Derby, and this is an event I just can't get behind. I'm like, what the hell? I don't get horse racing at all. First of all, everyone at these races is dressed like a complete fucking dipshit. It's like these people wish we were in 1900 again. The world is actually a much better place now than it was in 1900. I don't know if people realize that. Like, we live in a society now, everyone's allowed to vote, even if they're not a citizen. And we actually have clean drinking water. I think it's owned by probably 2 or 3 different corporations, but we have it. And I just don't get it. This is also an event that people get all geeked up for, but it's only because they're degenerate gamblers. They're like, yeah, dude, I put all my money on the 12 horse. It's like, yo, I think you have a gambling problem. Then they're like, no. It's one of the most classic sporting events. It goes way back. It's like, but that being said, whether or not I can send my kid to college, it does depend on the outcome of this horse.
Sure.
So I'm glad people liked it. I didn't take any of it, but I heard it was going.
It was a good race. I also did not take any of it because it was Saturday and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to partake this year. You know, we did a whole entire horse party last year for the Kentucky Derby. We all dressed up, and the race lasts for 35 seconds. And let's be real, like, I'm down to tailgate a football game that lasts 4 hours. I'm down to tailgate and get drinks before a hockey game. I'm down to go to the Rays Stadium and tailgate an all-you-can-drink Rays game. I don't know if I can fully tailgate something that lasts 30 seconds.
It's tough. Yeah.
And it was tough. Because the height is the thing, and then it just ends. And then everyone just goes, all right, well, I guess I lost all my money, so we just go home now. And it just kind of dies down. And I don't like that die down. I like a little bit of plateau up at the top.
Yeah, it was weird. It's just funny that people just stand in front of the TV for that long. Like, dude, like during pregame, they're talking about like
no
this
one
horse.
knows anything about the horses either.
But the day of, people act like, oh, yeah, no, I've been following this horse. It's like, no, you're not. If you are, that's actually very odd behavior.
Concerning.
So, I don't know. I'm glad people liked it. But I walked by Ferg's, a very popular bar in town, and the place was freaking swamped with people. And I was just thinking, I cannot wait for this derby to end because I don't want to touch that place. I was pumped to watch some basketball game 7 that night. I'm like, get these freaking horse people out of here. I can't do it right now.
Yes.
So that was the Derby, but people loved it, and shout out to the female trainer who won, making history. All right. This was a sports story.
I think her name was Megan Trainor.
Oh, right. We got another big sports story, and apparently this has been out there for weeks, but it's news to me. So we're going to talk about it as if it's new. We're going to talk about it on May 5th. Apparently, man in Kentucky, he laughed so hard at the botched field goal attempt in the Giants vs. Patriots game last December. This was Giants kicker Young-Ho Koo not only missing the field goal, but just missing the entire ball. He just kicked the turf at Gillette Stadium. This man in Kentucky laughed so hard that he went into a seizure, which led to him having to go to the emergency room. Doctors discovered a benign tumor in his brain, removed it. He's now come out talking about how, in the strangest way possible, this missed field goal, this botched field goal, really saved his life. He was watching the game because he is longtime friends with the father of Wan'Dale Robinson, who was the Giants receiver at the time. And he said he even wants to meet Young-Ho Koo because he said even though it's not Koo's finest moment, he really, in a crazy way, saved the man's life.
This is why sports is the best. You know, they need to do a 30 for 30 on this. This is unbelievable. You know, shout out to Jesus Christ for putting miracles like Kang-Won Koo on the Giants to kick the turf. All around, great Reddit story, great fucking sports story. This is the stuff that brings countries together.
Well, it's crazy because people always comment over here. They're like, how come you guys go so crazy about sports? It's not life or death. This time it actually was. It might have just saved this guy's life. And I like a good lighthearted story. It's crazy because I knew immediately what play he was talking about. I'm like,
I can picture it on repeat in my head.
Yeah, I'm like, most field goals don't warrant a laughing fit. That one did. It was crazy, but
No, that's good. I'm happy for him that he found the benign tumor. Would have been a little bit better had it been cancerous tumor and they got it out
malignant,
early.
I believe is the term.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he really he's really grateful for the way things went down. So
I'm sure he is.
So we're glad he's doing better.
Yeah.
So sports, they're poetic. You know?
Yeah.
All right, I think we got to hit on this. I know you've been following it. The J.P. Morgan executive story. We got a lawsuit. I mean, we got some new turns in this whole thing. The accuser, maybe he's full of shit.
Yes.
What's new? Like,
All
what's
right,
new
well,
with this one?
Let me pull up the names. I want to make sure we're giving proper credit where credit's due here. So, all right. What are the names? J.P. Morgan story names. And we are prepared for podcasts.
Oh, we are.
I just want to
We always
make it
are.
very clear. Okay, so it's a 2026 lawsuit against J.P. Morgan Chase. It involves executive director Lorna Hagini and former employee Chirahu Rana. He was previously referred to as John Doe, so you might have seen that. Now, here's the crazy part, and I'm just going to use her and him for the rest of the thing because both of their names are very hard to pronounce. So it's coming out on Twitter that there is this woman, is a white woman, and not a bad-looking woman, but she's apparently completely making this guy basically her sex slave and saying shit like, you'll never get promoted unless you get on your knees, talk in your Indian accent, and lick me. So, I mean, some of this stuff was just heinous. The details, I'd rather not get into full details on the story, but pretty heinous stuff that this lady was being accused of doing by this former employee. And the entire internet immediately takes John Doe or his side. We're like, oh my God, it's another case of a JP Morgan executive taking advantage of someone who wants to move up the career ladder, right? Wrong. Then there's a crazy shift in the story. Come to find out, JP Morgan's like, no. None of this is true. We have to stand by this lady in this story because this guy is a compulsive liar. Apparently, he went on leave for 3 months, told his employees that his dad died and he needed the bereavement time. Turns out he took that 3 months to get the lawyer to get this whole lawsuit in motion, and then he files the lawsuit. The lawsuit basically gets kicked out saying that this is like an incomplete lawsuit. You need to redo this whole thing. And JP Morgan's like, this guy's a moron. They're attacking his character, saying he was just a loser. Multiple people saying like, oh yeah, that guy was kind of a creep, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm flipped, like, oh my God, this guy's a psychopath. This poor woman getting dragged down this. I knew she wouldn't have done this. Then I find some more stories that this guy actually has a pretty big law firm behind him who's doing the lawsuit. They actually redid the lawsuit. Now they have multiple people who they interviewed a year ago who work for JP Morgan that have now confirmed that they were at parties where she did say stuff like this to him. So now I don't know who to believe in this scenario. All I can say is this is a great, great internet story. It's the classic guy, girl boss. It's everything that the internet likes. It's like every guy's fantasy that their boss is actually wanting to have sex with them and they're attractive and the potential sex can actually move them up the ladder. So for a guy, it's like, I'm going to say this, it might sound bad, but it's like when you hear the stories of like the 16-year-old kids in high school having sex with their teacher and then the teacher getting arrested, you're like, oh, dude, that guy was probably like having the time of his life. The story gets flipped and it's like a 16-year-old girl with an older like male teacher. It's like, dude, that guy needs to die right now.
Bury him under the prison.
Yeah, bury him under the prison. So it is one of those reverse situations where it's like, wait, shouldn't he have liked all this? It's very confusing. So, yeah, it's got every facet of what you would think the internet would need for a viral story.
Yeah, there's just a ton to get into here. I mean, when I first heard what he was alleging, I was skeptical from the jump. It's like, dude, no one is trying to make you their sex slave. Like, I feel like that's just a classic story that a dude would make up in their mind. They're like, yeah, like, boss, she wants me. She's like, it's like, I seriously doubt it. She probably doesn't need to do that. It is. So I was skeptical from the jump. But the 3 months of bereavement leave for, lying that his father passed away, That's the craziest part to me because, one, you're a nut job for lying to make it up. Two, I can't believe any American corporation is giving 3 months bereavement. I swear to God, as most corporations, I would expect if I told them, hey, my entire family died in a plane crash, they would say, oh, well, I don't know, did you want to maybe take an extra 30 minutes at lunch tomorrow, but then you can make it up on the back end at a different day? Would that be a good compromise? I can't imagine a company, especially one like JP Morgan, giving 3 months bereavement leave. So I think that's the part of the story that's the most insane.
Yeah, this could be a great recruitment tool for JP Morgan, knowing that there could be a potential 3-month bereavement is insane.
Very competitive.
I mean, our grandma just died, and my brother went back to work the next day and had a one-on-one with his boss, and he was like, hey, how you been? And he was like, oh, my grandma died. And he goes, oh. Anyway, do you think the project's going to get done on time? And that was verbatim what he said. So these corporations obviously don't care. Now, I did forget to mention, his dad did not die. It was
right.
Just,
that's
he
a big part of it.
completely lied about that. It's a big part of the story. I don't know. This has all the makings of a Hollywood classic. I am very excited to keep following this. The new lawsuit has been filed. Apparently, it's got some pretty good claims in there with some evidence. But it is crazy how plotted this must have been from this guy, because the interviews that they have with the employees that back up his story was from a year ago. So this is a long time planning for this guy. Smart move to do the lawsuit. However, I think where he fucked up was JP Morgan would only pay out for this if they knew it would never come out in the media. The fact that it's already come out now, they now are going to throw all of their weight to deny. There's not a fucking chance in hell that Jamie Dimon is going to let this fucking loser beat JP Morgan in some sort of public lawsuit. They will literally piano wire his entire family before they let him win, and then he might actually need to go on bereavement.
Yeah. You're probably not going to win going up against JP Morgan.
0% chance.
I feel like this wasn't very well thought out. Also, I mean, if it turns out that he does not win this lawsuit, you can't really imagine that many companies will be lining up to hire this guy in the future. It's some call it a career-limiting move.
I disagree.
Really?
In fact, this is an open-air invitation for this guy. If he wants to start a podcast on the Lawn Chair Sports Network, we are going to start it. It's going to be called Sex Slave Niru Pajua. I mean, that could be internet-breaking stuff.
Yeah.
And we will pay him, and this is fucking true. If you do a podcast with you, we will pay you a $150,000 a year salary for you to do this podcast. You have to film 2 times a week in the St. Pete Athletic, and we'll make you a superstar.
Yeah. So we're looking to expand,
Yeah.
Shoot. We got third chair.
Yeah, we got third chair. Now we will need to raise money for that $150,000, but if we can nab him, I think we can find some investors.
Yeah.
For him. So not too worried about it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, unless you wanted to talk about this more.
No, I'm good.
Live Golf. So Saudi-backed fund has decided, the public fund has decided they will no longer fund the Live Golf they'll fund it through the end of the season, and as it, through 2027 and on, the Saudi fund will have no deal. They have given up $5 billion, with a B, dollars investing in Live Golf, and Live Golf gets basically less YouTube views than we do. They did not sign a major broadcasting deal with any of the networks. They got pretty much blackballed in the United States. This has been a disaster since day one. Brooks Koepka, Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, John Rahm, they all got over there, got paid tens and hundreds of millions of dollars to make the switch, and this has been a disaster. Now, all of these players are scrambling because their money and their salaries that they signed basically are worthless now because there will be no Live Golf. Apparently, Live Golf is trying to restructure, trying to downsize, and they're trying to find private investors right now. But I'm not good at math, but I don't think just throwing $5 billion down the tube and basically having your revenue be less than $100 million a year is a good business to invest in. But maybe there's another country that needs to funnel their human slave, human torturing money through. So hopefully maybe they can get with Iran, maybe they can get with UAE, maybe they can get with Dubai. But I think what makes the most sense is a country that has unlimited oil, doesn't like the people that live in their country, and want to sit on the sidelines with celebrities. That's the only thing I can think that can save Live Golf.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was all for the golfers early on who took the money from Live Golf. Like we heard a lot of the PGA guys. Like I think Rory was vocal in it. Just so pompous. Like this is disrespectful. How can you betray? Like as if you're not just accepting a different type of blood money. If someone offers you $500 million, you would have to be an idiot not to take it. Imagine saying, no, I'm just so loyal to this corporation, the PGA, that I'm not going to take it. No, take your money. Hopefully be wise with it, because you had to know at that time, it's like, this is way too good to be true. No way this lasts in the long run. I mean, they were throwing money around early on. They were offering Charles Barkley like more money than his TNT contract to come play golf just because it would be funny. I think he's like, I was shocked he turned it down. I think he's like, it'd be pretty hilarious and it'd be more money, but I'm probably better on TV than just playing golf as a joke. But yeah, honestly, I hope these guys are wise with the money. You knew he was going to drive eventually, but you know what? Anyone who passed the opportunity to play and live golf because they thought they were above it, kind of a clown. Kind of a clown. Always take the money, answer questions later.
Yeah, but the guy who played this drama perfectly was Brooks Koepka. Brooks Koepka left, got the bag, was able to play in all the majors throughout this entire time, still getting paid the bag. Then he must have sniffed all this coming along, because he actually asked for a reinstatement into the PGA Tour about 4 months ago, and the PGA Tour gave him the exception back in the PGA Tour, and he left at the perfect time. Brooks Koepka, absolute bro, absolute legend, got the bag, back in the PGA, competed in the majors the entire time. This guy is an all-time bag catcher. Good on you, Brooks Koepka. And I was thinking, as I was doing my hand movements while I was talking there, I was thinking of the viral video, I don't know if you saw it, of Gavin Newsom.
Oh.
Have you seen this
How
yet?
new is it? No, probably not.
It's relatively new. It's within the last week.
Oh.
You need to watch it.
I would love to.
It is... All right. I'm going to take a pause. We're going to cut it here. I got to show Andy the video.
Let's do it.
And then we'll give you
It's
reactions.
a raw, uncut reaction.
All right. You got to see this fucking
I
video.
can't wait.
It's a real fucking video, too. It's not AI or anything. This guy has gone off.
This guy is going to be a gift for the podcast.
Gavin Newsom body language. It's very strange, man. Here it is.
I've been on a journey like most people, feeling great.
Oh, that's like it's something like
It's interesting. I've been on a journey like most people, feeling great, feeling stressed, feeling doubtful. The last 2 days, I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe the dust settling after Madison Square Garden. Seen how that went, like kind of a roller coaster. Sometime in the last few days, I'm telling you, that Des Moines Register poll, I mean, I don't know. I don't expect Iowa necessarily going in the blue column, but it says something to me that is of outsized importance potentially in terms of the outcome of this race. So I'm feeling honestly much better than I was even 24 hours ago. The last few days. What do you think it's saying?
All right, now he puts the hands down.
I think the biggest challenge for if I was Trump, the reason I wouldn't want to be Trump right now is since Dobbs, we've outperformed in every election.
Like, what is he doing? He's like,
Yeah. No, this is crazy.
all right, so we saw the video. Andy, initial reaction.
Yeah, I mean, initial reaction to this, it's almost like someone told him, like, hey, dude, you can't just stand there with your hands in your pockets, hands by your side. You got to use your hands. And it's like he was fixated on using his hands so much that I think at some point during it, it almost seemed like he wasn't even thinking about how to answer the questions. Like, yeah, but like, how do you respond to Trump? And I feel like you kind of saw a look at his head. He's like, oh, wait, what are we even talking about again?
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking so much about what to do with my hands. It's like when you give a presentation in front of the class and you're like, I don't know what to do with my hand. I can't put them in my pockets because that'd be weird, but on my side. And then it's just like, should I move them? But I don't want them to. And the next thing you know, you're not thinking what you're saying. You're just thinking about what you're using your freaking hands for. That was wild.
Yeah, that was wild. Clearly what this is, and if you go back and study presidential body language, you go back, you look at someone like Bill Clinton. He was known to always do kind of like the closed thumb thing in a lot of his speeches. It worked very well. Barack Obama, very similar. He would do he would do that as well, very pronounced stuff as he was talking, and it worked very well for those guys. He got like a Temu version of their campaign. He was like, what if you did that but way more? And he started going like, hey, yeah, I think the election needs to kind of, it was almost like he was doing sign language, but he didn't know how to do sign language, and no one wanted him to do sign language. That's what it reminded me of. Gavin Newsom is going to feed feed the content of this podcast for months to come. We're very excited. The fact that this guy hasn't just come out and said that he's running for president next election is hilarious too, because he just keeps going on all the national shows, and his answers could not be funnier. They're like, California burned down while you were governor, lost all your billionaires, most of the major companies are leaving, and there are about 1 million homeless people in one of your cities. What do you have to say for your record? He's like, whoa, 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 whoa. We have the third largest economy in the world. We have awesome schools. Like, everything's fine. The fact that he can just completely ignore all the problems just shows that he holds no accountability. And again, this isn't a left or right show. This is just holding dumbass politicians accountable. I think we need to bring more politics onto this show. I think when people listen to sports, they also want to hear politics.
Well, people always, it's like they want to be, it's like, you know, it's like ketchup and mustard, sports and politics. Like, they just go together. Like, It's like having a hot dog without a bun. Wouldn't make any sense. So I think this guy is hilarious unintentionally. Like, he's going to be the gift that keeps on giving for this podcast. And I look forward to following him. Will he be a good politician, presidential candidate? Probably not. But holy shit, I would love to have a night out, have a bender with this guy, because he seems hilarious. No accountability. I mean, you can tell this guy is shithead to the core. Probably grew up rich. The haircut is douchey. It is just, the guy seems like a good fucking time.
No, he actually went on a black podcast and claimed that he did not grow up rich. He was a member of several country clubs growing up. So the fact that he was saying that, he was like, yeah, I had to walk to the bus stop sometimes, and not actually because my parents drove me to school every single day, but you can imagine some of the kids at my school did have to take the bus. Just shit like that. This guy's a legend.
I feel your parents also don't name you Gavin unless they have money.
This guy's got money.
Like, no one's struggling his name Gavin.
He owns vineyards in Northern California. I don't want to hear it. During COVID, he was without a mask at the French Laundry, which is the most famous restaurant in the United States, while he told everyone in California that if they had one friend over, they would be arrested and put in prison. So I don't feel bad for this guy. This guy is trying to take the Trump playbook, but on the left, and be like this weird, super extreme left guy where he like calls people asshole on Twitter. I'm fucking sick of these politicians calling people names on Twitter. And this is coming from us. Grow the fuck up. You guys represent the most powerful and rich country in human history, and you guys literally act like 3-year-old women and children on Twitter. Grow the fuck up. It is embarrassing to the country. We need to bring respect back to this country. And both sides are now thinking they can just be assholes. Bring back people being respectful in the national conversation. We need decorum.
Well, it's hilarious, but that's what people seem to respond to. Like, I feel like the last few times we've had a candidate where it's like they're just, you know, keep it pretty respectful at the podium. They're like, hey, you know, there are some issues we need to address. People are like, boring. Like, do you think this guy can lead the country? Like, it's like, yeah, he got like 3% of the vote. Like, that doesn't even have a shot in the primary. We want shitheads. The people who've spoken, we are calling for shitheads. So that's why I understand Gavin Newsom's new playbook. He's saying, I got to shithead it up.
I get it. I mean, he's clearly...
It's wild.
He clearly just has these focus... But he's so funny because he changes so much so quickly. So you know he just has like a focus group study. The focus group's over. They tell him to do something. He goes out and he just goes to the balls to the wall extreme on the new thing. He started his own podcast. I can't even talk about it. It's so cringy. He is so disingenuous. He's such a fucking snake. But I do think he's probably a decent politician. I don't know the state of the state. I don't know. Apparently, AI is going to end the world in 2 years. I don't know if any of this matters. Fucking, it's a bad time to doom scroll on Twitter right now is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think if you were to compare our show to something, I would compare it less to other podcasts, more of us just being like someone's Twitter feed. Because I think we hit so many topics. So it's like, oh, sports. Oh, AI is going to kill us. Oh, Gavin Newsom did something funny. Oh, Trump threatened to kill the world. Oh, more sports. Oh, Game 7. Oh, crypto. Oh, like that's our podcast, man.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
The more I think of it, maybe our podcast is actually just what we've seen in incredibly short form in our social media feeds over the previous 45 minutes before the podcast. Maybe that's what the podcast just is.
Maybe we need to rename it something that's just reflects that.
Yeah. Well,
We could do a spin-off podcast.
we could. But I think we've already just made so much high-quality clothing with the brand. I mean, the brand is solid. The brand is solid. We own the trademark. I mean, I don't know.
All right, guys, we got some sick hats coming out. If you guys want, drop a link below. We are
drop a
going
link.
to... Yeah, don't drop a link.
You'll give us the link.
Drop a comment. We will figure out a way to get you guys this hat. We just sent out our 100th hat to one of our loyal fans in Kansas City. Garrett, shout out Garrett. And there's plenty more of that come. You're going to love the new designs, though. Another 47 brand hat. Those are the best. Andy's not wearing the 47 brand, but look at that camo. I mean, come on. You got the light up top, the camo on there. Everybody's doing it. We're famous country music stars when you wear those hats. That's just what we are. Guys, if you have a chance, please like the video, follow, comment. We love your support. Anything else you want us to talk about, also comment. We'll talk about anything.
Yeah, life advice, mailbag, write in, tell us what to talk about. I mean, we'll do whatever.
All right. Cheers, guys.